Perry from Rennet and Rind, and I'm here to talk to you about your box you bought from us. But first and foremost, I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas, because the likely chance is that you're sitting around your family dinner table. Mum and Dad have just cooked an amazing Christmas roast dinner, and you're about to settle into the cheese. You've unpacked your box, hopefully already. You've had it out for 45 minutes, allowed that cheese to breathe, allowed the fat to expand to create complex flavour, and you're here, and I'm sitting at your dinner table, so thank you for inviting me. And I'm going to walk you through these 6 cheeses. A project is, the mystery cheese box, which is our most kind of flagship product, what we're known for, are usually 5 cheeses that I select from these maturing rooms. So the people that don't know me, I'm an Affineur. So an Affineur is someone that matures cheese. So in these rooms, I use selective pressures, turning, brushing, washing to get the best out of the cheese. And recently, I became Britain's first Affineur of the year. So currently, according to this award, the best in the country are currently doing it, and I have matured, selected, graded these cheeses for you to be absolutely perfect. So in your box, you would have got tasting notes, you would have got a cheese quiz. Now don't look at the answers, but there may be a few answers in this. Obviously your cheeses, a pack of biscuits, and some of you opted for the additions like the amazing charcuterie that I made with Master Chef Drew Baker, to an R&D project we've been working on the last year to get the perfect type of British black pig salami to complement these cheeses. And you would have got the smoked butter as well, turn any cheese into a smoked cheese, but more on that much later. But shall we begin? Let's begin at the start as always. So they've all got a theme, Mystery Cheese Box Christmas Edition. Work begins last January to find out what we're going to mature for you, what would be perfect, what would be a good idea. And Baron Bygone actually has them featured in our Christmas edition box. One, because it tends to be everyone's favourite, but we stumbled on a profile, which is called Perry's Profile 3, which is very, very mature and very heavy. And it's very dangerous around this time to try, not dangerous, but very difficult to get it where it needs to be. And I thought we'd go for it this year. We want a pure breakdown, so let me open this for you. So you want a pure breakdown on the outside. So if I open this up, what I'm hoping you guys get at home is a strong aroma. This is ripened. We want to kick out all that fresh farmyard flavour. And then hopefully, there you go, I know it's going to happen, right? So as you unwind it, like there you go, the goo just, oh look at that. I mean, perfection. In my opinion, perfection. This one is going to be quite strong for you guys. We want to kick out all that freshness and get really down to the deep, savoury elements that are within the cheese. Now, I would advise that you actually use these cleverly supplied PTR's crackers. Sorry about the noise, I'm not prepared. Let me unopen this. There you go. And then break one in half and begin scooping. So, let's talk about the aroma that we're getting off that cheese. It's a bit farmyard, it's a bit feisty, it's very pungent, in a good way. I want it to be camembert brie style. So we get these in, we've matured them for an extra 3 weeks for you. That's turning twice a week in these racks to get a pure breakdown in the middle. And the aroma is actually gorgeous. It's actually very buttery, which I wasn't quite expecting. I wanted more savoury, which I think the flavour will have. So let's get stuck in. So creamy, really cabbagey, Brussels sprouts, intense saltiness, so Moorish. I bloody love that. Sorry, kids at the table, I shouldn't say that. It's so nice, so Moorish. Made in Suffolk, Bungay, Montbéliard cows, really great breed. That's so Moorish. Delicious start. Big opener for this. So I want to briefly talk to you about how to keep cheese as well. So the next cheese we have up is Halford. So these batches have been selected over the last year. So I'll get a thing called a cheese iron, plunge into the side of the cheese, put it out, and any that meet this criteria that was right over the last year for our Christmas cheese box, I decided to knock out and leave in here. We looked after them. And we've got this amazing profile of Halford. Affineur is a Welsh cheddar. I wanted to do this last year, but Pitchfork was just amazing, but I'm just loving the profile and the way this room, the cheddar really responds to this environment, and that is why I selected Affineur. So quite a fruity nut actually. The tang's there, but it's quite dialed back. It's not acidic. The tang is there. Background notes are savoury. A little bit of kind of earth, but you know, particularly sort of as you go towards Orion, a bit of earthiness. Let's have a try. Good texture, nice and chewy. We want that oxygen to mix with our palates to make those flavours far more complex. Really smooth, good balance of saltiness, nice fruitiness in the middle that we're getting. Very palatable, very Moorish, a little bit gnarly. Really great cheese. So happy with that. Great cheddar for this point as well, because we're moving on to something a little bit stronger, and this cheese is called roll rye. So roll rye, we spoke to David who makes this cheese, phenomenal cheesemaker, and he made these specifically for us for our mystery cheese box to complement. And that's what it's all about, exclusivity, you know, stuff matured by the best Affineur in the country, but this little peachy top means the cheese has been washed and it's got a bark around the outside. Now what I like to do with this, when you leave this out for 45 minutes, I mean it goes delicious in terms of unctuousness and oozy. To try and see if I can get this top off in one clean way. Just pour that off. Oh my god. Look at that. Delicious. Delicious. I'm gonna pop that over here for now. I'm salivating looking at it. I mean, look at that texture inside. It's like a molten core, right? So what I like to do is I like to get a spoon and just, look at that. Perfection. Smell is very alkaline, a little bit kind of bitter, more like sort of in the bitter element like raspberry seeds when you crunch on those. Got a bit of creme fraiche kind of vibe to it. Let's have a taste. I love that. So silky. A little bit of smoky bacon, which is what we wanted, tiny bit. A little bit kind of tingling sensation that goes on. Wow. There's going to be some fighting over that at the dinner table. I've just done through it so quickly. Delicious cheese, such an amazing cheesemaker, David. Obviously all our cheeses are British, so important to support British artisans. Phenomenal, I hope you enjoy that, that is an amazing treat. When you smell the rind as well, it's really strong, kind of gin bag, kind of aggressive, you know. I can't get away from that. But all these washed rind cheeses, their bark is far worse than their bite. That is so buttery, smooth, easy going. If you've got the kids at the table who smell about the aroma, just dip out that little kind of thing, you know, on a spoon and give it to them. I guarantee that they'll love it. So like I was saying, let's move on to our next cheese. The cheese is all about exclusivity, the best cheese that I can find you for money's worth, you know. So the next cheese that we have up is Spenwood. Now, I'm a world cheese judge, I forgot to mention that. So I've judged all around the world, and this year was meant to be held in Kew, but it was moved to Newport, Wales. And the best cheese, British cheese that was voted, was this one here, Spenwood, which is sheep's milk cheese, which is a phenomenal colour, lovely peachy outside, really great texture on the inside, as you can see that. I mean, so smooth and thick, such a contrast from the previous cheese. That's why we're eating these cheeses in order. They all do something to each other. It's a year's worth of hard work, so I really hope you're enjoying it so far. Yeah, let's give it a try. Cuts so well, so clean, you know. And there's a definite clear nuttiness to this. You know, it's very sweet on the nose. It's kind of like a jar of almonds with a kind of milky, slightly savoury-esque background note. I'm excited about the texture of this because it's like pliant, but I can see there's a slight crumble, which is what we want for the textural difference. That is so nice after those three cheeses. Because texturally it's just so different. It's unnoticeably granular. I liken that texture always to a roux, flour, milk, that kind of, it's smooth, but it has those kind of edges to it. and that nuttiness just overriding coming through. Just so well balanced, such a nice journey of that nut, going from the vibrancy of like a sharp nut, like a pistachio almost, and then moving into a more fatty one, like a Brazil, you know, or maybe like walnut kind of esque. Brilliant. I love that. No wonder why it's Britain's best artisan cheese. That may come up in your quiz later if you haven't done it already. Next one is really exciting because this is an R&D project we've been working on. It's called Wensleyan Truffle, so no awards for working out what cheese this is like. But we've got very tired of Wensleydale in the UK. It's mass-produced in supermarkets in ugly vat packs, and the traditional artisan ways, we're losing them. But Wensleydale is one of our own oldest form of cheese. We thought, right, let's knock Wensleydale cranberry off its perch and do something a little bit more finer, like Wensleydale and truffle. I always like to get a truffle in the Christmas board, and the balance of this is superb, so it's not too overpowering. So we've got this pinkish rind, where we had to do some sort of preventative work on the rinds. They were getting a little bit too wet for our liking. The aroma, yeah, it's truffle. It's truffle with a kind of sour cream, you know. That's what it is. Two worlds colliding. Texture, so we've gone from a range of kind of indulgent, thick textures. So good. Now we've got that lactic, fresh acidity. More moving into the citrus area, lemon. The truffle just balances and plays out so well with it. Not as big the truffle as it is on aroma, and that lemoniness is just so beautiful. More towards the rind, we get a little bit more bitters that are in the rind. So if you don't like that bitter, just chop it right off. Don't have it. If you don't like that balance that's there, that's how we can move it out. Delicious. So like literally only 68 of these ever made. That will be it. You guys will be the one and only people to ever try this. We did a few into our local delis, they've sold them, and that's it. It's over. This is what it's all about. Supporting British artisan cheesemakers, but also giving you guys something really, really exclusive, like the Wensleydale truffle. Delicious. I hope you guys enjoy that one. Final cheese. Blue cheese, young buck. So a little word on the back, right? So you've got 2 dates. You've got at its best before. We changed the language of that. There's something these rooms do, so we're cutting fresh from these maturing rooms. And in 7 days, they kind of, the cheese just has this extra level. You know, the cheese is fantastic. It's just fresh. It's like catching fish at sea and then, you know, and then cooking it in half an hour. It's just so fresh and beautiful. So that's that, right? That's that date. So on this one, we've got up to the 29th. So it gets us past Christmas, which is great. On this side, you've got use by. Now that's where I'm really concerned after that, it dropping off. Now, after the 29th, it's still a very good cheese, right guys? Don't throw it away, don't be confused. We have to get comfortable with these best before and use bys. And the best before is me saying, this is when it's gonna be absolutely superb. If you can consume in that time, please do, because it's gonna be on another level. After that day, and you know, before the use by day, it's still gonna be a really good cheese. So please don't get sort of throw your cheese out and worry about dates, because pretty much cheese lasts forever. I didn't say that. So the last cheese we have up is Young Buck, Northern Irish cheese. Now let me tell you a little bit of story about Young Buck. There was a time in November last year where we matured a Young Buck, and it was kind of like the best blue that we've ever had. It was like we were taking it around and then it disappeared. Now I had plans to do a different blue for Christmas, and then this batch came in from Mike, and actually it was phenomenal. It tasted great, and we just needed, you know, so we flicked back through our notes, so how many times we turned that, what humidity we were keeping that cheese at, that old school one, which was like the best ever profile, and we decided to mirror it. So 3 weeks in the maturing room, slightly higher temperature, turning very, very frequently, and then lo and behold, a week ago, we decided to give it the plunge. We had 2 options for blue, I'm really happy to say that we achieved it. So, Young Buck is a Stilton, but it's a Stilton with attitude. It's unpasteurised, raw cow's milk, and it's just a stunning cheese. It's a little bit gnarly on the outsides, a little bit more real. The aroma, typically biscuity. You've got that savoury note that's there. The saltiness that's kind of coming through is a bit like Serrano ham. You know, it's really nice. It's got that kind of a cream element, that kind of, you know, like buttermilky almost vibe. Let's have a taste. I'm a blue fan. That's incredible. It's got this delicious winey note to it, this like red wine vibe. You know, the biscuity and the notes of Stilton are just there, they're trickling away. But the kind of, the aftertaste is very red wine, very kind of like sophisticated. Yeah, it's like sophisticated cheese. Beautiful. And that's your Young Buck. Stunning. So nice. Now, if you want to hang around, that's great. But we've got just a couple more things to talk about. The people that bought the special saucisson style by Drew Baker. So we communicated with Drew ages ago and said to him, this is our plan. We had about 4 cheeses at the time. That's what we're going to do. Can you make us a salami? Only 220 of these salamis ever made. I want the highest quality pork, which was black pig, which is relatively kind of extinct in the UK. And I want these kinds of spices to really blend with the cheeses. Not overpower it, but just work really well. And I'm in love with it, right, guys? I know some of you might be confused that you were going to get slice packs and things like that. I totally get that. But I really, really liked the fact that salamis just aren't as good cut vat packed. You can, you know, it's like the maturing cheese. It's just not as fresh as it should be. You know, it's hard to kind of put that into practice and say, but we slice and pack it and you just lose a little bit of shine. So I just wanted a really fresh one. And do you know what's nice about slicing your own charcuterie? It's very, very fresh. I didn't pre-cut a bit because this is a difficult place. Let's have a taste. No, that's a thick bit. I like a bit of chew. The marbling is perfect. The black pepper that's coming through, white wine, garlic, the chew is great. It's not overpowering, it's so Moorish. I think it's delicious. I absolutely am in love with that. I hope you guys can recognise that, you know, because I'm really excited about creating our own bespoke charcuterie just for Christmas. And there will only be 220 of them ever made. And that makes it really nice for you guys to try something that I've been working on for some time. And then the final one is the smoked butter. So it's like my kind of stuff for the year, you know. My favourite chutney. So last year it was cherry and amaretto jam, which was really important. I love that stuff. But this year it's all about the smoked butter, because I hate putting smoked cheese in cheese boards. You know, it overpowers. But I understand there's a lot of respect for them out there, and I understand Grandad's at the table and he wants his smoked cheese. But you may not want that. So the great thing about this, knock a bit off your halford, pop a tiny bit on top of it, and hey presto, you've got a smoked cheese. You know? It just works. This stuff is so nice as well, actually. I shouldn't have that much. Turn any of these cheeses into a smoked cheese. What more can you ask for? So guys, that's it. That's me over and out. I really, really hope that you enjoyed your cheeses. I put so much effort into these boxes at Christmas. I know how important cheese is at Christmas time with family. A lot of maturing, turning, time and effort has gone into them. I couldn't believe how quickly they sold out. They were sold out in under 3 weeks, which is just a huge amount of support for what we do as an Affineur, as a British artisan cheese business, as an independent business, a family business. You know, it's a huge amount to see that support just drives us on. So I hope we haven't let you down, because I absolutely love these cheeses and I'll be eating them with you on Christmas Day. So that's me, that's everything. I also want to give a shout out to my team. It was a huge effort this year. I don't know if you guys realise, but there were strikes and snow out there. So our courier's DPD unfortunately had to move our window a little bit forward, which meant we had to get everything ready 2 days before than we planned. And the effort and energy that my team put in, Mark, Adrian, Duncan, Lewis, Callum, Dominic, Cherie, Debbie, I think that's everyone. I hope I'm not missing anyone. Mac, all those people, you know, and the whole team at Reddit and Ryan really got behind this and got it out the door in record time when we wasn't expecting it. So really appreciate you guys supporting us, and have an amazing Christmas. Give me feedback, what you love, what you enjoy. Reach out on Instagram, Reddit and Ryan, on everything. And thank you so much for all your support this year, and I hope you guys have an amazing 2023. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.